commentate when it's a track meet for one team.
Where'd you say the coffee was?
So not this one, but the next one. Yeah, that door right there. Yep. What was the final score on that one, Ray?
Rugby Canada would like to thank the Government of Canada for their ongoing support of rugby in Canada.
29-26.
Rugby Canada is represented by one of Canada's top law firms and would like to thank Gowlings for their ongoing support of Canadian rugby. Rugby Canada would like to thank the Government of Canada for their ongoing support of rugby in Canada. Rugby Canada is represented by one of Canada's top law firms and would like to thank Gowlings for their ongoing support of Canadian rugby.
Okay. So this is one. How much do you know about UVic too? Because their roster.
Yeah, I know some of them.
Because their roster is so like, it's all raw.
Yeah.
We don't know any of the players.
Carly's not
basically.
here anymore. I know some of them.
So we'll have Regina, but we don't. We have nothing for UVic.
No, Humber.
Sorry. Which one are we on?
Humber.
We're on 26. This is us. Okay, so we've got Humber. Okay, I'll get us started if you want to eat your sandwich. I'll talk for the first next 20 seconds or so. We good, guys? Okay, welcome back here, guys. Next game, game 26 of our broadcast of the first field. We've got Humber against Mount Royal University. So Humber will be going from left to right, and Mount Royal right to left. So restart coming in those bright, flashy jerseys. Charlie Mocon. And that ball is one back towards Humber. Humber had a big victory early on in their games. So Charlie Mocon, part of that under-20 team Women's Nations Cup winners. She's breaking the line. Watch her to make a big impact in this game.
I have to say, I really love those jerseys.
Yes, they're fantastic. And they're great for us, too, the broadcast. They got those big, shiny numbers on them. Easy for us to see. Okay. Humber taking it up. Can't get the ball to ground. Got options both sides. In the offloaded, but that ball was knocked on the far side.
I think it's Charlie Mocon has had a very strong game the last game I saw her play, and she's obviously an integral player on this Humber team. She's making a huge difference with some strong runs at the middle and opening up space on the outside.
So the I'm just checking the scores from earlier on today. Mount Royal University, they lost their first game 15-5 to Regina, and Humber easily won their first game. I believe the score was 27-7 or 31-7, Humber over UVic 2. So this odds are in the favor of Humber. They're a very dominant team here, but we'll see what happens as they're pressing early on here, about 10 meters out. Bit of scrappy play from both teams, but they've got one player out wide, electing to go right back up the middle, just trying to power their way over the try line. But good defense here from Mount Royal. Numbers out wide if they can use it. And there will be your first score. Can't get a number on that player, but she scores right beside the post. So good effort there by Humber.
Well, maybe that's why the jerseys aren't so good for numbers. Humber is looking so much better from when I saw them last year. They look a lot stronger. They look like there's been definitely some distinct, some strong selection decisions made based on skills and abilities, and they're probably fighting really hard to get out of Pool 3, because from my understanding, the number one team in Pool 3, only one is moving on.
That's correct.
And I'm sure Humber would like to be that number one team moving on to the next level.
So if you're just joining us, the structure is there's 3 pools in the men and women. Pool 1 and 2 are ranked between 1 and 8. Pool 3 is ranked 9 to 13. The top 8 teams will move on to the cup and plate round, and 9 to 13, one team will move on, and the rest of them will compete. 9 and 10 will compete for the bowl, and 11 to 13 will compete for the shield. So that's the beauty of 7's is in these tournaments is even if you're ranked not near the top, you're still playing for something. You have the ability to go home with a plate or a shield or a bowl championship, which is great.
Yeah, and as we see some of our national 7's men walk by us, below us, they've definitely seen the benefit of the plates and the bowls, and how even winning at certain levels can really bring a lot of pride to the country.
Canada's men's team recently finishing 3rd in Las Vegas and 6th in Wellington. Fantastic results. The women doing also really well, winning 2nd place in Atlanta and then 3rd in Sao Paulo. As we're back underway, good effort here by Mount Royal and a big contact. What a great hit there by the number 8.
A great pickup by Humber.
As play moves on. The ball looked to have gone forward, and a big hit by Charlie Mocon. But unfortunately, in the game of rugby, you have to wrap. You can't do a hockey hit, go in shoulder first.
Well, probably one of Charlie's strengths is her aggression, obviously. But as long as she sort of keeps it under wraps.
Good play here by number 7 for Humber. That is Sasha Bailey, and she will be off to the races. Marlene, we've seen so many times today that men and women in this tournament, sometimes I think they've seen too many Super 15 highlights, and they're trying to do the offload while going to ground. When is it important? When is it better to just go to deck and recycle the ball?
I think that generally what a lot of coaches will tell their athletes is if someone has their hands on your arms and, it's 50-50 ball, we don't want to give up 50-50 ball in a 7's game. It's too risky. So if you have hands off and you have basically a 95% chance of getting that ball to your teammate, do it. But if someone's going to disrupt it, just place the ball far away from the defense and wait for your teammates to ruck over.
Like I was mentioning before about kicking in 7's, offloading is the same thing. If it works, you're a hero. If it doesn't, you're going to get your coach telling you that you should have gone to ground with that ball and recycle it back. So 12-0 here, minute 40 left on the clock. As another big hit by Mount Royal. So they're still showing, Mount Royal. They're still showing life here against Humber. Good run here by Mocon. Trying to get around the outside. That's good running there by the number 9, McMorris. Taking it up, but not held in the contact there. She just decides to get up and keep going. And McMorris will dot down under the posts. And there's so much room to move here in 7's. And if you see that opportunity to get back up and keep going, that's exactly what she did for the 3rd score of this game.
Great work, quick reaction. She didn't hesitate, and always heads up rugby. She saw that hole in front of her, and she went for it.
So about 45 seconds left on the clock in this first half. Humber just showing their dominance. They're looking like one of the contenders to move out of that third pool.
I mean, both teams look very physical, but I think Humber's just winning that physical battle, and that's probably an area they might want to work on.
That ball is lost off the restart, so it'll be it was off a Mount Royal player, so we have a line out for Humber, and they decide to go quickly, trying to get back on the offensive right away in the offload. Popped out wide. Good burst of speed here from the Humber player. Looks like a bit of a dangerous tackle, so the referee has an advantage to Humber. Play moves on. Ball held up about 7 meters away from the try line, but the referee bringing it back for the dangerous tackle. So we'll see if Mount Royal can hold them here. Mokon spins it out. She's got numbers with her. Right in front of the post. Going for a run. Stopped up about 4 meters out. Got 2 players out wide if they can use it. Good defense here from Mount Royal, but Charlie Mokon just walks right over the line and scores under the post. So it looks like that'll be the half.
And it seems like Charlie has a nice balance of she's getting around the pitch. She looks fit. She looks fast. She has good size, and she has some speed. And I mean, to have that all in one package is an excellent combination.
So the conversion is missed. Score stands 24-0. Here, Humber looking really strong in both their 2 games so far. Mount Royal only scored 1 try so far in their 1.5 games. We'll see if they can come out with a little bit more here in this this next half. Want to take a quick moment to talk about one of the great initiatives that Rugby Canada is doing recently called the National Player Support Program. This has been headed by a gentleman named Al Sharon, who, if you know a little bit about Canadian rugby, you know Al Sharon is a legend of the game, played in I believe 4 World Cups, was Captain Canada for a long time, played in 76 matches, something that no player in Canada has ever done. Yep. He's supporting a program called the National Player Support Program, where monies raised are going directly to our players and helping them with the things that they need in terms of housing, food, nutrition, strength and conditioning, things like that, and just helping a little bit out financially here and there. So if you are interested, you can learn a little bit more by emailing Al at acharon, CHARRON, at rugbycanada.ca, or there's a bit of information on rugbycanada.ca. So, Marlene, from someone who's played in your time and you're witnessing what's happening right now, you know, that extra little bit of support here and there, how far does that go?
It goes a long way. You know, it's a lot of hard work to get to the national team, and it's a lot. You make a lot of, we call them choices, not sacrifices, but there's a few sacrifices, and you know, and a lot of it, we talk about starving athletes, and there's some truth to that. So having that little bit of support so that you can get your supplements, or buy food so that you have healthy, nutritious meals. Any of those little things really does help, because your parents have helped you along the way, and it's a big sacrifice for them as well and your family members. So this is great sort of venture that Rugby Canada is doing with this player support.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example. So our women's 7's team, they're usually at the field by about 7:30, 7 o'clock
early
in the morning. They'll train till, on field, off field, video analysis. They'll do recovery, strength and conditioning until about 2 o'clock, usually 2, 3 o'clock, and then most of them will stick around and do a little bit of their own personal stuff. So it's difficult for these guys when they come home. It's not like they can go to work for another 8 hours. Yeah. They're exhausted from being in the gym all day. So providing a little bit of financial support, a little bit of help here and there for this, that, and everything, and we're asking so much for them on the world stage for Canada. So if you are interested, you can email Al Sharon, acharon, at rugbycanada.ca and help out. So we're underway here in the second half, 24-0 lead Humber over Mount Royal University. Beautiful conditions here in Langford, British Columbia. Day 1 of the National University Rugby 7's Championship.
We really can ask for better weather. It really is beautiful out here, sitting from up here.
I was just speaking with Canada 7's head coach Garrett John. He was mentioning that tomorrow we might not be so lucky.
Oh.
It might be pouring down rain tomorrow, so hopefully Mr. John is incorrect as Mokon takes it quickly with a little show and go. She gets wrapped up, but a player was not back 10. So it looks like the first time I've seen today, we will have a yellow card, one player going to the sin bin. So one of the players has to go off for 2 minutes, and you'll see how important it is to score when you have the extra player, because it's a big advantage. As that ball gets spun out wide, can't see the numbers because her hair is blocking it, but great burst of speed there from the Humber player, and she touches down under the posts right away with the extra player advantage.
Great work by Humber, and they've been looking pretty steady all throughout this game. And some definitely natural speedsters. You can just tell by their running technique that they might be some former track athletes. They just have a nice smooth run, and that's evident in that try just now.
So coming up next will be UVic 2 against Regina. I believe that's two teams looking for their first win. Just looking over my notes right now. Regina beat Mount Royal earlier today 15-5. So should be one more game, and then after that we have the U18 Women's Youth Olympic Games, camp games coming on right now after that. So lots of rugby today as we get set for the restart. Does it go 10? It would have gone 10, so as a ball nearing the sidelines here, Mount Royal running a bit sideways, but that ball gets knocked down by a Humber player. Advantage Mount Royal. I'd like to see them cross the whitewash here in the second half to get on the board. Only scored one try here today. Be nice if they could get another one. Down one player right now. Picked up by number 10. That's Foss. And Foss so close to the line. Can she get it down? Yes, she does. She wriggles her way over and touches down. So that is Lucy Foss wearing the number 10.
When you've lost that one player to a yellow card, it really makes such a huge difference in 7's. 15s, 14 on 15, you know, it's feasible. In 7's, wow, it's almost the equivalent of two people if you want to think about it that way. So, you know, hard work for Mount Royal to sort of defend against that.
Another unsuccessful conversion, but I don't think it's going to matter. They're up 36-0 here. So a reminder to fans, if you are planning on coming tomorrow, it's a superhero theme. We're giving away prizes to Canada versus Japan at Swangard Stadium on June 7th. So if you have a superhero costume, put that on. You win yourself some great prizes. Also, we have some great Rugby Canada merchandise we're giving away as Humber win that ball off the restart here. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Big room down the blind side here, but wasn't picked up by Humber. Ball nearing the 50-meter mark as one of the Humber players is slow to get back to their feet. Charlie Mokon going herself, and does she have the gas? And looks like she will score again. I think that's her third try here today. She's putting her name up for leading try scorer in the tournament. She's just looking really strong.
Definitely. I mean, we've been talking about her throughout this whole game, and even the last game I commentated on. She's really setting a standard and a precedence here, saying, like, notice me, coaches.
What position did she play in 15, or does she play in 15?
I don't actually know. You know, I don't like to stereotype people's physiques. You might think she's a second row, maybe a number 8. Even nowadays, possibly a prop. You don't know, but she's definitely not limiting herself in her abilities in the 7's game.
It's the beauty of rugby. Every body type has a position, and if you can master playing 7's and 15's, you will go places. So 41-0 here, 2.5 to go. Ball was kicked a little bit in front of the line, but the play moves on as that ball was knocked on. Advantage to Humber. They back to 7. Yeah, so back to 7. The sin bin is out. Taken up into contact now by number 6, Greckens. Passed out wide to McMorris, who already has one try. So McMorris using that speed of hers, so she will touch down for another one. So McMorris just pushing things on here, and a dominant victory here from Humber.
Yeah. there's a lot of different roles in sevens, and like one of them is the finisher, as we just saw. But you need people who are ball getters. You need people who are ball distributors. People, you know, who are playmakers. Sort of like your number. We have numbers in sevens, and usually your number 4 or 5 would be your playmakers. So. You know, if you're looking to get involved in the sport, try and figure out where your strength lies and really capitalize on that.
Women's head coach Francois Ratier, who's here a part of the women's U18 Youth Olympic Games camp. He's got a keen eye watching these games. Never know, some of these players could feature on Canada's women's 15s team in the years to come. As
we mentioned earlier, a big camp coming up in April. We can see Hillary Leith, who's one of those athletes sitting in the stands right now. She's just finished training today, getting ready for that camp. Hope to be selected as a prop for the national 15s team going to World Cup.
Not going to come out of retirement for World Cup this year?
No.
No?
But still playing.
So 45 seconds left on the clock here as the ball gets booted out from Mount Royal. I'd really like to see them touch down for a try. But the ball's won by Humber.
Just under 35 seconds left in the game.
Awarded to Mount Royal, so we'll have one last scrum, it looks like.
And there appears to be an injury in the end of the field. This time in the game, people are looking tired. Until you've played a game of sevens, you don't really understand the fitness required for the continuous speed and the sort of the long runs that you have to do in sevens. So you get some injuries, and definitely where holes can open up.
Yeah, it's a battle of attrition here, especially over these long 3-day tournaments too. You'll ask any of our Canada Sevens players, the ability to take care of yourself and take care of your body, your eating habits leading up to the tournament, during the tournament is absolutely huge, and that's the beauty of this tournament as well, is it gives these athletes a chance to play over the 3-day tournament and see what it's like. You know, you talk to the likes of Jen Kish or Sean Duke, Nathan Hirayama, Ashley Stacey, people like that have been in these tournaments dozens of times. You know that you have to be able to get your body completely up to play a game, then you have like 2 hours to relax, and then you have to get right back up again. So it's as much mental as it is physical.
Definitely.
So we have our final scrum here. I'd really like to see Mount Royal burst all the way down to get a try, but Humber's defense has been so good, so we'll see what happens here. Picked up by Mount Royal. I believe that was a good tackle there by McMorris, who's been so dominant all game. Mount Royal popping it off the deck. Good play here. That ball was knocked on as the referee blows it down. So final score, 41-0. Humber looking really strong here at the National University Sevens. Brian Kelly and Marlene Donaldson will be back in just a minute. Gareth Reese and Patrick Johnson bringing you the next game, which will be UVic 2 against Regina.